Hi all, I want to do a video on sockets for your pickup truck. I've got a F-250 2004, and here in the manual there's a section on taking the lug nuts off. Let's see here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start with the basics here. Tire change procedure: park on a level surface, activate hazard flashing, and set parking brake. Automatic transmission: place gear shift lever in park. Manual transmission: place gear shift lever in reverse. Electronic shift on the fly, four-wheel drive, place transfer case in any position. Manual shift transfer case, four-wheel drive, place transfer case in two-wheel, four-wheel high, or four-wheel low. To help prevent vehicle from moving, when you change a tire, be sure the parking brake is set. Then block in both directions the wheel that is diagonally opposite other side and end of vehicle to the tire being changed. So they're saying if you're changing this tire, see how this tire is flat, put blocks behind the opposite tire, front and back. Main reason is because the transmission is not enough to hold the vehicle in place. What I do is I always carry a couple pieces of wood in my trunk to put around the tire in case I get a flat. Okay, so here, turn engine off and block the diagonal opposite wheel. Block not provided, you have to buy your own. Remove the jack handle, lug wrench, and spare from the storage locations. Use the tip of the lug wrench to remove any wheel trim. Loosen each wheel lug nut 1/2 turn counterclockwise, but do not remove them until the wheel is raised off the ground. When one of the rear wheels is off the ground, okay, rear wheels is off the ground, the transmission alone will not prevent the vehicle from moving. Okay, that's the important part. When one of the rear wheels is off the ground, the transmission alone will not prevent the vehicle from moving or slipping off the jack. Every so often you hear about someone getting crushed by a vehicle. The car falls on them. What I do is I slip the spare tire underneath the vehicle, so if it does fall, it doesn't hit the ground. Then it'll just fall on the rim. My son had a vehicle, his pickup truck, on cinder blocks, and the cinder blocks just crushed. They aren't strong enough. Even if a transmission is in park, automatic transmission or reverse manual transmission. To prevent the vehicle from moving, when you change the tire, be sure the parking brake is set and the diagonally opposite wheel is blocked. If the vehicle slips off the jack, you or someone else could be seriously injured. Okay? So main thing I wanted you to see in this section is you have to block the wheel. Put something around the wheel so the vehicle won't move. Okay, so main thing is, in that previous video we found out that just a four-way wrench was enough to change your truck tires. You know, I didn't think that a regular wrench, tire wrench, would be enough. You know, the truck is too big, the tires are too big. I didn't think it would be enough to get them off. So the size of my lug nuts are 13/16. You know, check your truck or check your manual, see what your manual says. Okay, that just happens to be my size. I don't know if it's marked on these things. I thought it was, but I don't see anything on here. You'd think they'd mark them. So you can get cheapies. I've seen these go for as low as 10 bucks, but the better ones cost a little more. I think I've seen them as much as like 30, 40, 50 bucks. So I don't know if I'd buy a cheap one, because see here, that's what happens with a cheap plug nut wrench. See how it just ripped that socket open? And that's when I was using this one to jack up the plow. You know, the plow's only like 800 pounds or so. Okay, so I would say for sure get one of these, mainly because if the one that you use is ripped, see how that one is even damaged. I don't know where this one is from. It's been hanging around the house for years. But if the one that you use is damaged, the one that you need is damaged, you might be able to get the next one down or up to work. Okay. Now, besides that, I have a few more options here I thought we'd run through. I just happened to bump into this at Tractor Supply last year, and it was like on sale for like 10 bucks or so. Pretty good buy. So you hold this down and slide that out, and then the sockets will come out. I'm not sure which one is 13/16. Let's see here. See, now these are marked. That's marked with a 7/8. That one's marked with a 7/8. If it's dark at night, that's going to be real hard to read, right? Here's a 13/16. So that would be the one that would fit my plow. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mark this. So if it's dark or I'm in a hurry, then I know which one it is. Just put some masking tape around it. I know it's silly, but you know, I'm getting old. My eyes aren't my eyes are getting worse. So see, 13/16, 13/16 for truck. Okay, so I'm ready to go. And then this guy here, this socket wrench came with it. What you have to do to get that off is you hold this button in and pull it out. See, when you hold that button in, it pokes out of here. It pulls in these little balls. Okay. Now this was really, really smooth. They really polished it down. I wrapped it up with some black tape. So just to stick that on there, it won't go in. What you have to do is push down that button, and then it slides in there. And that little ball that we looked at holds the socket on. It's not just going to fly off. Okay. That's that little ball there. Okay. So what I found was that wasn't long enough. I couldn't get enough pressure to get the lug nut off. But what you could do is like stick a pipe on the end of this. You know, if you have an old metal pipe, and use that to give you some leverage in order to get the lug nut off. Okay. So a better route would be like these. Here's a 13th, 16th, and see how there's only 6 sides to this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. These are also 13, 16th, but look at the difference in the thickness of the metal. These are impact ready, so I suppose it's hardened steel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I mean, there's a big difference there in the width of the metal. Okay. And also see how this is what they call a deep socket. It's a lot longer. We saw in that previous video that the short socket would fit the lug nut, but then the wrench that you use on this end, you know, the leverage end, it wouldn't clear the wheel or the side of the truck. So you use a longer socket, and then your wrench is like an inch or so away from the tire. Now normally these would be used on like a air impact gun. That's why they say these are impact ready. They're just stronger. But I went ahead and bought these. They cost a little more than the normal sockets. See, like these silver ones are like normal sockets. But these black ones, the impact ready ones, deep impact socket, they're a lot stronger. Okay. And then these here, see, these are 12-point deep socket, 12-point. These are 6. That has to do with these here. See how there's 12 points here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Normally, you would want these 6-point. These are better, they're stronger, they don't slip as much. But sometimes to get in the tight areas, it's nice to have these. Or maybe if your lug nut's getting a little worn down, these might grip a little better. So that's why I grabbed these, just in case the lug nuts on the truck are getting old. I know when I had the Taurus, I drove that Taurus for 25 years, I had to replace the lug nuts. I just dropped the car off at the mechanic and told him, go ahead and change them. And he just went to the local auto store and bought them. Okay. And then like this one, this would be the adapter that's what we found out was this big guy here. You wouldn't use that to put them on, but you can use them to take them off. But you can see these. Let's go ahead and cut this off here. These won't fit on. These won't fit on there. That's what they mean by drive size. See here, this is a 1/2 inch drive. So what happened there, I bumped into this one on sale, and it was 20 bucks. That's really cheap for something like this. I really didn't know what size I needed, so I just bought the big one. So I still like the big one, because I've watched too many videos where the fellas just break their bars. So that's why I went ahead and bought the adapter here. Of course, that's not going to come out of there. So the adapter here is 3/4 by 1/2. 3/4 on one side, 1/2 on the other side. So you can see this side is 3/4. Okay, so that'll fit on here. This thing here has to be pulled back. That releases that ball, and then this will slide on there. And inside here, there's that little hole. Okay, so line up that ball with that hole and slide that in there like that. So now that won't come. Okay, so now we got the 3/4 inch breaker bar with the adapter, 3/4 down here, 1/2 inch up here. Now we can put the 1/2 inch socket on here. Okay, so that would be a good strong setup to take off your lug nuts. I think next time I'm up near a Harbor Freight, I'll go in and get the 1/2 inch one. See, when I bought this one, I wasn't really sure what size I needed, and it was on sale for 20 bucks. I figured, hell, I'm gonna grab a big one. Okay. So all of these are 1/2. See how it says 1/2 drive? That's the size of this guy in the back. One half. One half. Okay. And then this one too. See, 1/2 drive. So the drive size is the size of the wrench. See, that's 1/2 inch here. 1/2 inch size. That's the size of the hole. So the wrench has got to fit the hole. 1/2 inch drive. Okay. And then for the adapter, see, I got 3/4 here, 3/4 here. Okay. And then it's an adapter. It's an adapter because we're going 3/4 to 1/2 inch. The one we used in the previous video, I also got this at Tractor Supply. It was on the clearance rack, and that's what they call a flip socket. See, it's it's got two different sizes. It's got one size here and one size there, and then they give you the adapter here. So depending on which size you need, see how there's the ball here and the hole there. Okay, so that holds that in place, and then 1/2 inch here. Okay. So there's 1/2 inch, and that should slide right in there. Okay, and you could just do this and go like that. That's why they call it a flip socket, depending on which size you need. Nice little handy socket. You'll also bump into these type of things. You know, that's so you could put that on your drill, and then you have these things here that fit in the back of your socket. You know, in case I wanted to use this on my drill. So I don't know if that would be strong enough to handle this, but you'll see these in the stores. Okay, so a while back, Lowe's had their sockets on sale.